Coach Galen Deboer. We'll have Coach make his opening statement, and we'll take questions. Leave your hand up, please.
Yeah, you bet. Heck of a game. Lost my voice a little bit there, obviously. A lot happening there all game long. So a lot of energy that was put out there by coaches and players, and proud of the way, we played. It took 4 quarters. And obviously, there's some times where they made a run there, and the second half in particular. But, just proud of the way our guys kept fighting, kept playing. I think we continued to learn every single play and grow, and you see that at the end with ZB's, interception. Guys saw it a couple times, them throwing the ball up in the air and really just laying it up there, maybe even sometimes underthrowing it, and just in great position. That one certainly looked different with how he was playing it, there's reasons for that, but certainly how he was playing it, and in a position where he had as good a chance to make a play on the ball as anyone, and did it. These guys are fun to coach every single day because they're just wanting to get better, and highlighted Ryan, obviously, with the big play he had in the touchdown. 2 number 2s out there, 2 freshmen. It was fun celebrating those guys in the locker room. Our team, loves the way that they work every day. But, tip the cap to Georgia. Just they're a heck of a football team. We pushed each other to the very end. So proud. Again, can't say how proud I am of our guys. We talk about you get what you deserve, and these guys come to practice every single day. They're in the weight room. Any opportunity where we're asking and asking them to do something, they're all over it, and they're doing it to an extremely high level. So, we expect to win games, these games, and so of course the locker room's full of excitement, but I also want to make sure that we understand that's the expectation, and there's a lot of season left, and so want to make sure we don't blow all our energy into this win, and make sure we can handle success and get ready for next week.
All right, thanks, Coach. Starting on the left side with Nick Kelly.
Yeah, when you have 2 freshmen, like you mentioned, over here, Coach, when you have 2 freshmen in a game where resolve was needed, and they were the ones who provided it, what does it say about those 2?
Yeah, it says a lot. It says mentally that they're well ahead of their time, and they've played enough snaps now, to where there's a belief that not only that they have in themselves, but we all do, and we see it in practice. And they're playmakers. They battle, they grind. They were tired. Played a lot of snaps, each of them. A lot of running, but they're true. They're true as far as what we ask, and grinding 4 quarters and need them till the very end. And so, they earn that stripe down the middle of their helmet today. That's for sure.
Jump to the right side, Charlie.
Yeah, Coach, Jalen had almost 500 yards of total offense. Just what did you think of the way he played and the way he started the game?
Yeah, he was, I think, exceptional. And I really, I didn't want to jump the gun, but I just really felt like the last couple weeks, and it starts with the Wisconsin game where he got into a little bit of rhythm, made those plays. We still didn't have enough opportunities really. Threw it, I think we either threw it 17 times or something like that. But you could see him taking that step from week 2 to week 3. The offensive line, I think, is doing a good job for the most part of really protecting him, and and he's thinking about where he's going to go with the ball. It doesn't mean he's perfect, but man, he's a weapon out there, and he's doing it both through the air and with his feet. He's tough to game plan against when you're on the other side. When he needed to put the ball somewhere, I really felt like his accuracy, and that goes to his timing, the rhythm, the confidence, the belief that he has in his receivers and whoever's catching the pass. And not everyone goes. Not everyone, there was a couple times where we actually let him down. We let him down and didn't have a couple guys run exactly what they were supposed to do. And it looks kind of fuzzy, and you're wondering what the heck's going on. And, that's a credit. I felt like he just mentally, kept staying the course, and that he continues to grow in all ways, not just as a football player, but as a leader as well.
Let's go back over to the left side, Mike.
Herbie had mentioned at halftime he hadn't seen you guys throw to empty before, and it seems like maybe you caught them off guard early in the game. How'd you feel like you adjusted as the game went on, and maybe they got more of a handle on that?
Yeah, well, we hit the one to Ryan, in the third quarter. He made this kind of the circus catch. And, yeah, there was more of that. I mean, we've done it, throughout the season, but there was certainly a heavier dose of that. And, I thought I really felt like when we went empty, Jalen did a good job of seeing the space, seeing the coverages. And that's what I love, because we have a lot of playmakers out there and sometimes just getting the ball in their hands. So, there's adjustments going back and forth. They did a nice job with some things, and then we had to counter back as well.
Chris Lowe on the left side.
Hey, Kalen, I know you've been in a lot of big games, but could you take us through the emotional roller coaster to get up by 28, and then those last few minutes when you guys were like both teams sort of trading haymakers?
Yeah. Yeah, when you face a really good football team, there's going to be a strong push. That's what I would expect from us if we were ever in a spot. We're going to fight till the very end, and I expect our guys to go make plays. And sometimes when they're in their situation, really on their heels and really just throwing it up and kind of that urgency that they needed to have, and a couple plays go your way, those are the sparks, and that's what happened. And they did a nice job converting on some fourth downs. I think that was really the story in the second half, is those fourth down calls, fourth down plays. And, we get one or two of those. Really the game looks different, I think, in the second half. So, but yeah, it's those are the battles. We know that that's what each and every week is going to be. Just people are going to bring their best shot to us, and that's the SEC. So, again, proud of our guys and the way they kept responding. It wasn't like, the next play was, or the next drive was always perfect, but we did play team football. I thought covered for each other. We got some takeaways, got a field goal, special teams did a nice job there. Of course, there were some letdowns, and we all saw what some of those were too.
Question from the back right, Chase.
Can you speak to Kendrick Law having to come out of the game and what his situation is?
Yeah, he just got a lower body injury. So, I don't know what he'll be. It's unfortunate, because I thought he really had a great week or two of practice, and kept building too, and putting a lot. And he was, I know, really juiced up before the game. So, thought he was doing some good things as far as just helping our offense. It might not be things that show up on the stat sheet. So, unfortunately, he wasn't able to be there with us throughout the whole game.
Back left, Ryan.
Coach, an answer like that at the end, what does that say to your team, and what's your message to the team, and how does that carry over now that you guys made a response at the end like that?
Yeah, we talked about it on Sunday. There were some games last week. Our guys had the bye week, and they watched a lot of football. And we talked about how, there's some last-second plays, and, you got to keep fighting and keep playing. And the game, with our talent, is going to keep coming back to us, even when it feels like it's running away from us. And, that belief from tonight is something we will certainly make sure and be intentional on remembering, because those are the things that are going to happen again, and we're going to have to do the same thing at some point throughout the season. You never know, it might be sooner than later. But guys being ready for when their opportunity comes. We've talked a lot about that during fall camp. I reminded them before the game, and I thought guys were ready when their opportunity came and went and made a play. And that's what we're going to need.
Right in the middle of the room here, Katie.
You just hit on this a little bit, but what kind of leadership and composure did you see from Jalen at the end to make that play after Georgia had just taken the lead?
Yeah, he put the ball where he needed to, and I think, it's one of the areas I felt, that he really improved, and that throw and the location of that throw, that was intentional. I really will say that strongly, because that's one of the areas that we worked on. If you saw the first couple of games and where some of those fades were thrown, and that's an improvement. And that's not just him, that's the receivers also being on the same page with him. So it doesn't always fall on Jalen's lap with some of those plays that we had early in the year. You saw Ryan catch the touchdown against Wisconsin. You saw a couple of those things starting to happen. He took a next step. Guys don't always have to be wide open right now. You saw him throwing guys open, and the receivers anticipating that, hey, I'm going to get the ball, and that's progress in our passing game. And we can keep doing those things. We're be tough to defend.
right, Johnny.
Hey, Coach, locally we've seen Ryan for a few years now in the state, but from a national standpoint, this game is kind of his arrival. You mentioned the circus catch and then the go-ahead score at the end. Just how special of a player is he? And in those crunch time moments, is it in the back of your mind, I got to get to the ball?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's involved, and I still feel, I think we threw it to 10 or 11 different guys today, and that's going to be the key, is that everyone still is involved, so that attention can't just solely be on him, and so he's a guy, those are some of the plays, some of the ones he's had in the early part of the season, he was very open, but there was reasons why he was also open, just a subtle understanding of timing, and where the ball and what the concept was, where the ball was going to be thrown. But now you see some of the playmaking that I know we saw during fall camp, where there are competitive catches, and that happened a couple times tonight. So, then after I think the thing I'm probably more impressed with that I knew he was going to bring, but it's what he's doing after the catch too. It's not surprising, but it's certainly impressive. And when you practice every day against each other and you have a couple scrimmages, you get a couple chances, but he's doing it over and over again, getting the ball in his hands and making people miss, and a lot of yards after catching, yards after contact. So he's a special player. The most impressive thing also with that is how he just handles success, and he's going to be back to work. He's going to be the same guy on Tuesday, same guy tomorrow when we show up and do our workouts. And so, that's what I think our team really sees in him. The upperclassmen, I know have noticed that from day one.
We'll only have time for 2 more questions. Start with front left.
You talked about Jalen's execution on that fourth quarter throw. Was the thought to challenge Georgia deep, on the first play and kind of hit them when maybe they weren't as focused? And then just what was your, conversation with Jalen heading into that drive?
Well, Jalen and I have talked a lot. This isn't just this week. It's been since day one about never having regrets. And so competing till the very end. And really that's what I want our team to do. But we talk about that a lot and staying positive and keep fighting. And then, sometimes it doesn't bounce your way. And doesn't mean you lose the game, but sometimes just a play doesn't end up the way that you wanted. You got to keep fighting. When it comes to the concept, a lot of our plays have opportunities where you can have you find that one-on-one, and if you like the matchup, you go after it. And so, he liked what he saw, obviously, and delivered. And Ryan did the rest for him. But a lot of our concepts, have shots built in, but also some other elements to the passing game where you're looking still to have a high completion percentage. I think that's the one thing that jumped out at me. I don't know what 27 of 33 is. It's got to be 80+%. So that's what I love to see. If we can be over 65. That's positive steps, and he's well above that.
Last question on the grades, far right.
Hey, Coach. At the beginning of the week, you mentioned that at least one doubter falls in line with the Lank mentality. After a win like tonight, do you feel like some of those doubters might have been silenced a little bit?
Yeah, and that's some stuff internally, that we know that you have a matchup like this, there's going to be people that believe one thing or another, and is this a mismatch, this position against that position, so that link is from the team aspect, but it's also a position group or an individual, a side of the ball, and so our guys, I think, do a great job of just having that edge to them that comes along with that mentality. I'm proud of them because they understand that edge, but they keep the confidence, and they don't do it in an arrogant way. And I appreciate the way they come to work. That's what you can really see that translates to the opportunities and wins, a win like we had tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you. Roll Tide.